Do you know who the Bella twins are?
No.
Okay, the Bella twins are they're twin sisters. They used to wrestle for the WWE, and then they retired. One of them was engaged to John Cena. They had a show on uh, like the E Network. Long story short, my girlfriend loves them, right? And they have a podcast, and she listens to them all the time, and they just talk about like nothing, you know.
A lot of
But
podcasts are about nothing.
no, but like it's less than nothing, and I don't understand because she's so smart. I'm like, why do you want to listen to these women? But the point is, if you ever are at the point where you want to build a course on how to run a podcast, I'll be your first customer because like
I don't know
I
shit
you
about
know
this.
I just did not know what to do. I did not know how to get on Apple. I did not know any of that stuff, you know. So yeah, just put it in the back of your mind. If you ever build a course like that, let me know.
All right, we'll do. All right, let's get into this. CJ Williams, and I'm joined this week on the interview by Mr. Jonathan Hertilus. He is the owner of BFF Boot Camp in Nutley, New Jersey, and he's the creator of the Dumbbells to Dollars course. It's a resource for trainers, trains trainers, and teaches trainers how to start and market their fitness business. But that's not it. I want to tell you why this guy is special to me, because this guy was the one who showed me. I think I first saw your videos back in 2013 on, running a boot camp, and it convinced me that running a boot camp would be better for my career than doing personal training. Just economically and just is more efficient in running a business. So thank you for joining me, man.
Oh, thank you for having me, CJ. Absolutely.
Um, so I want to start off by asking you, since I know you're not able to run your boot camp now, how do you spend your days? Like, are you still getting up early in the morning, or what are you doing now?
I am still getting up early in the morning, not quite as early as I used to. So I used to run classes 5:15 a.m. At a gym that I subleased, which means that I had to get up at about 4 o'clock, be at the house by 4:15, get there by 4:30 to make sure that I can set up my equipment to run classes at 5:15. And since this COVID outbreak and the shutdown of all gyms, I still have class at 5:15, 6:15, 8 a.m. The only thing is I no longer have to commute all the way to the gym. I simply roll out of bed, I hop on a Zoom, and people, they work out from home. They join my live chat, and then I run the workout that way. So the boot camp in its live phase has been, is on hold, but it still stays strong. Classes are still populated. It's just on a different platform.
Okay. That's cool, man. I was just thinking, I think about this every day, how, when I shut my business down September, October of last year, like, man, I don't know what I would have done. Like, because the online thing is just not my thing. I couldn't see myself doing online training. I
Mhm.
thought about it for years. Like, nah, I'd rather have in-person experience. But had this pandemic going down and I still had my gym, like, I would have been damn near suicidal, bro. Like, like
It, you know,
seriously.
it's a lot. The situation is a lot for a lot of trainers, and to be honest with you, I'm not an online guy either. I think the only reason why it works for me, because I tried online training. Online training is more like when you give somebody a workout and then they can do it at any time. They
Mm-hmm.
get back to you whenever they want. You have really no control. In terms of live, I can still interact with the person, even though I'm not in front of them. I'm still interacting. So like I could very easily record the workout. I can do one workout and then record it and then say, hey, everybody, this is your workout for the day. Do it whenever you want. That just doesn't even feel right to me. Like it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't feel like I'm really training if I'm not there while you're there. So that's the only reason why it works, And a lot of trainers felt that like that serious anxiety as soon as they realized that they couldn't run their gyms. And I sympathize, but if you just look at the landscape and you say, all right, what do I have to work with? Are my clients still with me? Then, figure out a way.
True indeed. So talk a little bit about the Dumbbells to Dollars course. Now, I was somebody who, like I said, I saw your videos back in 2013. I think I was one of your first people to subscribe to your program, where you laid
Sure.
everything out, talked about how you not only run your workouts and the different formats that you offer, but the business side of it. So what does this Dumbbells to Dollars course? First of all, how can people find it? Then what's in it?
Sure. If you want to check it out, you can go to www.dumbbells2dollars.com. And then there are a number of different courses. It's evolved where in the beginning, I just wanted to teach trainers how to run boot camps more efficiently so you weren't scrambling for exercises. So initially it was just, here are different formats and how to implement them. And then it evolved into, how do you run your business? What kind of equipment should you even buy? How are you going to handle taxes? How are you going to handle billing? Because I found out that a lot of trainers struggle in business related areas. So then we expanded into the business aspect. And then from there, I just got more questions from trainers on different areas. So there's a Dumbbells to Dollars course for group training and business building. There's a course for trainers that are just starting out in terms of how to get yourself into the gym, how to get hired, how to sell well, because trainers, a lot of them know how to build programs, but they don't know how to sell well, how to run fat loss contests, and finally, how to run online and or virtual workouts. So there are 4 different Dumbbells to Dollars courses now, but it all breaks down to the fact that certifications really only teach you so much theory. In terms of when you get into the real world, there are things that the book is not going to teach you. So I try to fill that gap because I struggled for a long time and I had to learn things the hard, long way. So I figure, why don't I just put everything in one spot? You can ask questions, you can learn from somebody that's actually doing it, and then you don't have to waste as much time as I did early in my career.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the benefits of you. Like, you made the mistakes for me, and
Right.
I was able to, build off that. A lot of that stuff I use from the beginning all the way through to the end, through the last day of running my boot camp. Is there a way you can tell how many people you have like actively using your course?
I think I had about 2,500, about 2,500 around there.
What? That
Yeah.
is a
Yeah. I mean, I've had it for like 4 years, you know?
wow.
And I
I
remember
didn't expect you to say that.
in the
Wow.
beginning, like it was dirt cheap. Like when I first put it out, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make this course. I'm gonna charge like $500. Everybody's gonna love it. And then nobody wanted it. And then I went the complete opposite route, and I was like, all right, let me charge like $5. And people still, it was hit and miss. Then it was like $10 for a while. So there are a lot of people that jumped on it, like when I was just a desperate guy that just wanted to get the word out, But yeah, there's a good amount of people on it. And the more people that join the course, the better it gets, because sometimes somebody will come up with a question. I'm like, wow, I should have put that on the course. Guess I'm going to make a new lecture. Like I have a list of lectures I'm going to be working on today to add to the course. So it's always evolving because I want it to be as current as possible. But yeah, there are a lot of trainers out there, and I think they recognize that just knowing how to properly demonstrate a squat doesn't necessarily translate into you're going to be able to make money as a fitness professional. So that's why I focus on, being independent. I call it, becoming a fit boss, becoming your own boss in fitness, where you can survive whether you're going on your own or working in the gym. Because even if you're working in the gym, you really still kind of work for yourself. You're going out there, you're getting your own clients. You have to sell, you have to close, and then you have to service. So it's about making sure that you're able to do that and not just relying on overhead squat assessment. That's only going to get you so far.
All right. That's true. Anybody can teach somebody how to do squats and all that stuff. But, to run a business, and then the ethics involved in running a business, like
That's hard.
Do you touch on that in the course?
Ethics? I mean, I think that comes up more often in our private group. I think that was one of the better additions that I made to the course, was adding a private Facebook group, because I'm the type of person, I just want to know what and how. And that's the kind of information I get out, because when I used to go to seminars, they would just talk about feelings. They would talk about motivation. That doesn't help me at all. So I've focused the course on, here's what you got to do in order to get X, Y, Z. Now, when it comes to ethics, we often have questions in our group about how you deal with a client. The biggest questions that we get lately have been, how do you change your pricing when you're going from live training to virtual training? So there's no set of ethics questions. It usually comes up and they're usually personal to the trainer. So that's what the private Facebook group is for, to give that constant support to whomever needs it.
Right. Okay, cool. So short-term, long-term effects of this COVID-19 on the fitness industry. How do you see it? First, short-term.
Okay. Short-term, It's really just adapting. You just have to adapt. If you try to go to a Walmart or a Target or a Dick's Sporting Goods and you try to buy dumbbells, they're all gone. Even on Amazon, they're gone. The markup is crazy. Like if you try to buy it on eBay, uh, power blocks, which used to sell for $150 a pair, are going for $400 a pair easy because people now realize that they have to get their workout somehow. So in the short term, you have to adapt to the fact that people now have stuff at their house. They aren't going to the gym. It's actually an advantage for the single trainer because you're not competing against the big box gym. Everybody's on the same level. So you just figure out how to service them because the people are out there. Somebody had to have bought the weights. It wasn't all a bunch of gym rats. You know what I mean? So it's adapting and then getting as many people as you can because now you're able to reach more people than you could have before. People that had the objection of time no longer have the objection of time. People had the objection of distance no longer have the objection of distance because they can sign on from their device. So it's really just about adapting to the situation and figuring out what the new advantages are. And if you do that, you should be okay.
Okay, that sounds good. What about long term?
Long term is hard to predict. Like that, I could see it swinging in one of two ways because I was using Zoom for a while, doing one-on-one interviews with trainers before this pandemic broke out. So I was used to using the application. As you probably have noticed, there are a lot of people that are still trying to figure it out, unmuting themselves, turning their camera on and off, signing in, all that good stuff. So you may find that people prefer the Zoom format. Like for training, they may get to pay less. They may be able to train with a trainer that they couldn't have before. Maybe the fact that they get the accountability of having somebody live as opposed to going to the gym, they might prefer that. It can swing in so many different ways. Like my clients, some of them are dying to get back to the gym. They're dying for things to go back to the way that it was. However, I really don't mind not having to get up and then move all this equipment around for a half hour before class and then move it back a half hour after class, go through the grind of, trying to get this equipment for this person. And I just tell you to buy your own. And then all I have to do is train. So it really depends on the market always dictates what the salesperson or what the service provider should do. All right. There are some gyms that are not that well run. Like I heard 24-hour fitness is thinking about filing for bankruptcy, but that's just shining on light on the fact that if you weren't positioning yourself to adapt, then you're probably going to get eaten up. Mm-hmm. But it's really going to be the client. And I think the more trainers that do virtual training well, the better off they're going to be as it relates to competing with the big box gyms, because they will no longer have to worry about, if I want to have my own business, I got to take on this lease because I need to have a building. I need to have a brick and mortar. They can just say, all I need is a Zoom Pro account where I can pay $15 a month for hour-long or more than 30-minute long Zoom meetings, and then I can run my business. So I hope it swings maybe 50-50, where a lot of people that wouldn't have worked out will now hop on Zoom because they realize that this is a real thing and it's convenient. I think there will always be people that want to go to a gym, but I think the same thing happened with group training. I think that people were used to doing, going to the gym, hopping on a piece of cardio equipment and then doing that. And then the option for group training and aerobics training came out like in the mid 80s. And they were like, oh, I like this better. So, I mean, if there are enough people and the demand is high enough, I would have no problem going virtual because the risk is so much lower for the trainer. So yeah. I'm all about doing what's best for you and, keeping yourself in the game as long as you can.
Yeah, that brick and mortar route. I've been there.
It's tough, man. Like to know that, okay, number one, you got to crack the nut of rent. Like it's always going to be
first and foremost.
Yeah. First and foremost. And you had employees. That would make me suicidal. That would be, I can't. I don't like the idea of having employees in general, because I don't. You can probably relate. Like when you're the owner, you have to work hard enough to get paid. When you're the employee, you just got to show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like they got to get paid before I even get paid. And
Right,
then
right.
you got to take care of them first. And then it's like, I don't know, we're getting a little personal, but it kind of waters down your product a little bit, the stuff that you worked on. Like, it's not you. It's not the same. That's the issue I ran into was, my clients wanted me. They
Right.
wanted CJ. These people are cool. They're fun. But these people said, I want you, CJ. I saw you on the Instagram and the Facebook. I want you. So that was an issue too.
Do you think there's anything? Do you think it was the trainers that they weren't working hard enough or weren't trying hard enough? Like, I'm not trying to have you throw shade at anybody, but like, what do you think it is? Because if you're so organized such that the workouts are going to be the same, I had a similar situation. I was out and then somebody came in to teach for me, and then clients were dropping like flies. I'm like, but she's really good, I mean, that just speaks to you and the kind of relationships that you build. Not everybody knows how to build relationships. That's another thing with training. Like, it's not just the workout is such a small part of it in the grand scheme of things. You have to ingratiate yourself to the client. You have to be energetic all the time.
You're always selling, whether you know it or not.
Always.
You're selling them. That relationship you have with them is hoping that they will come back next month. And if these trainers weren't thinking about it like that, they weren't thinking that this person has to be back next month. Let me engage with this person, keep them engaged. And another thing to consider when hiring other trainers, and I see, what's his name? One of your guys in the groups, and
Tyler, Darian.
Darian.
Yeah.
And he's doing a lot, and I kind of see myself in what he was doing because he's doing a lot. I'm like, man, take it easy, slow down. Like, you are going to burn yourself out. Like, I see that, and he's doing good. But then I see people who thinking about hiring somebody, they have to bring value. Like, they have to be bringing something to the table, or at least opening my mind up to something else.
Right.
And if they're not doing that, it's not going to help me.
Right.
But things are different now because nobody's hiring anybody. And
and like, if you want to win, you got to hire yourself nowadays. That's the only thing that you can do. But that's why, to me, it's a good thing. It's going to filter out, the people that weren't. See, I don't like to say that somebody's good or bad. I don't like to say good or bad trainer, because a lot of times it's just that you don't have the experience yet, But if your want to is big enough, then you're going to find a way, and then you're going to realize, oh, this isn't the game. Like, people can leave at any time, for any reason. I honestly think that a lot of the reasons why the people that stay is because you've built that emotional equity up with the client. And they're like, okay, it's not perfect, but I'm going to give it a shot. And then they find that they like it. I'm positive that the people that I have right now, if I had never met them before and I said, hey, I'm Jonathan, I'm going to do virtual classes, they might have been like, I'll pass. I'll watch a DVD or something. So you got to ingratiate yourself as best.
Let me ask you this. Are you a different person outside of your boot camp?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely. I tell my clients, like, right now I'm in character. Because if we run into each other at the supermarket, there are some clients who I allow myself to be my normal self, which is usually pretty sarcastic, not very tolerant for, just like bullshit conversation, short with people. So when I have a rule with my 5:15 class, I'm like, listen, if you come here before 5 o'clock, don't even talk to me. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, I'm setting up. I'm just thinking about what I got to do today. If you get here between 5 and 5:15, then you can talk to me, but you have to be okay with whatever comes out of my mouth, because it might be nice, it might not be nice, but at least it'll be honest. And then after 5:15, I'm in character. Everything's fine. Nothing bothers me. I won't get upset at anything. But that's another thing. You have to put on. It's a show. Like,
it is.
It's 100% a show,
and it will drain you.
Oh, bro.
The energy that you have to expend. Like, I had trainer CJ and I had home CJ. Trainer CJ is this big personality, just a show, like you said. But home CJ you won't even notice he's in the room. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just quiet. Just, leave me alone. I'm good. I'm good. Just leave me alone.
Thinking and planning a lot, would you
Right.
say?
A lot of thinking and just, but trainer CJ is there's never a dull moment. Always got something to say, sarcastic. People like that part of me. Like, I think that's what kind of brought people back, because I was always had something to say.
Yeah, I remember when I before I started my boot. Okay, I got two questions. A question and a comment. First, how many classes did you run a day at Buff?
I did mostly three. Then I bumped it up to 4 at the end.
Okay.
I started out with 4, went down to 3, then went back up to 4.
I usually do 2 classes. I do 2 classes Tuesday and Thursday. I do 3 classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right. Ever since this COVID started, I added an evening class. And even still now, like, having to get up emotionally for that 4th class, I barely want to do it. The only reason I do it is because the people that come are usually nurses and they're coming off a shift, and a lot of times people bring their kids, and I can always appreciate a parent that wants to get their kid healthy, but it's so draining. And then as it relates to the whole personality thing, I remember or even when I first started boot camp, around that time, I would watch P90X, right? And then I would just listen to how Tony Horton would speak. I'm like, this guy's a fucking cornball, bro. Like, he makes the dumbest jokes, but he just kept on talking the whole hour. I was like, there's probably something to this. Like, you can't shut up. Like, you always have to be, there can't be dead air time. That's the worst thing you have in a class.
Yeah, you're losing if there's dead air time.
Exactly.
Something's not right. Like,
right.
And then it's like the more people that came in there, the more energy it gave me. It's like, okay, now I get to perform for this person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, I just love seeing them walk in. It's like, yes, more energy.
Yeah.
But then when they left, it was like, shit.
Bro, I turned the lights off. I turned the music. Yo, it got to a point, because I was starting to get burned out even before this COVID thing happened. It got to a point where I was like, all right, I got to turn this music on. I got the same playlist, even though it's like 1,000 songs or whatever. I've heard them all. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I got to turn this music on. Sometimes when I ask my clients, like, listen, can we just work out in silence? Like, I just don't feel like I can never do it, but that's part of the game,
That's funny, man.
Good old days.
So what else? You got an IG for the Dumbbells to Dollars course?
I mean, not really. What's funny? Like, I don't really consider myself a salesperson. Like, if you get in front of me, I'll talk about it. But I don't know. I've never been a big fan of all these guys that pop up on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, you got to buy my course." Oh, I can
have
save
those long sales pitches, that long copy, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, like, if you wanna find out more about me, you can check me out, BFF Bootcamp. That's the business that I run. All right, and then, like, if you look at my BFF Bootcamp Instagram page and you're like, wow, this guy has got his stuff together, I would like to have what this guy has. I can probably help you on your way, Mm-hmm. So there's no real Dumbbells to Dollars Instagram, because I don't even like to post that much. If I were not a business owner, I probably wouldn't post on social media.
Yeah, that's how I am.
As much as I do right now, but you have to, that's part of the game. So yeah, man, if you see me on BFF Bootcamp, you can look me up, add me as a friend, follow me. If you just search Dumbbells to Dollars, or go to YouTube, search anything personal training related or bootcamp related, you're probably going to see my face eventually. And just hit me up, and then I'll do my best to help you.
All right, man. Cool, man. Well, I don't want to hold you too long, man. It was good talking to you. I appreciate you joining me. I got a lot of people in fitness that follow me, and and hopefully, this course right here, man, what you've done, like, man, I don't think my business would have existed without what you did, man. And like I said, I took it with me to the end. Time workouts. I have clients that for years, they do what days I was having them.
Yeah.
They either liked them or they didn't.
Right. But they knew it was coming regardless.
Yeah, they knew
a decision, like, either gonna come or not.
All that stuff, man. And then, yeah, man, it influenced me. Then I found that I influenced a lot of people with what I did. There are people now I see on Instagram who are into fitness, and I get I look back and say, you know what, I had an influence on that person to do that. And it started with what I saw with you. Like I wouldn't have got to that point to be able to influence someone had I not, ran into you and saw your content on YouTube. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Job
Bro,
well done.
always good to speak to you, man. Like it was good to catch up. We haven't spoken in a while, but
yeah,
you're doing well. Podcast is doing well. I'll add you on. Is it still CJ Train Me on Instagram?
yeah.
Okay. I'm not on often, but I'll make sure to follow you on my boot camp page so I can see the updates on the podcast because I like to listen to them.
Yeah, I'm about to get into videography, man. Invest next month probably in a nice camera and do more marketing for small businesses, helping them produce. Because that's what I really fell in love with, like the video. Because
bro, I saw that immediately. Because I remember that you I was like, this guy can replicate anything. Like I always thought that was my biggest. I always thought that was my biggest downfall. Like whenever I see something, that was my biggest asset. Whenever I see something, I can repeat it. I was like, this guy picks up workouts. I have some students that really struggle. You weren't one of them, so I'll be excited to see how that goes for you. Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. You'll see it definitely. But man, thanks for joining me. Have a good day and good luck, man. Good luck.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.